In 1987, the Friday the 13th franchise producer Frank Mancuso Jr. debuted Friday the 13th the series, which did not include Jason. This was a strange choice and it baffled horror fans. With the exception of A Nightmare on Elm Street, no horror franchise dominated the 1980s like Friday the 13th. As has been stated on this channel a few times, Friday the 13th came about when the creators admittedly wanted to duplicate the success of John Carpenter's Halloween. The original film focused on Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees, as the killer, and her warped attempt to get back at camp counselors for letting her son drown. Beginning with Part 2, Jason became the killer, and that has not changed since. Of course, many will debate that Jason was not the killer in Part 5, but someone pretending to be Jason was indeed the killer. Given that Jason was slashing his way through 7 Friday the 13th sequels in the 80s and more since then, it came as no surprise that the franchise would branch out to the TV world. After all, A Nightmare on Elm Street did it with Freddy's Nightmares anthology series in 1988. What didn't make sense is how the Friday the 13th brand name ended up being used. Airing its first run syndication for 3 seasons, Friday the 13th the series starred John D. LeMay as Ryan and Luis Roby as his cousin Mickey Foster. They inherited an antique store from their uncle called Curious Goods, and many of the items turned out to be cursed as a result of a deal their uncle made with Satan. With the help of knowledgeable occultist Jack Marshak, Chris Wiggins, the cousins set out to reclaim all the cursed antiques sold at the store before they claimed more lives. So that obviously doesn't sound anything like the movies, and there's a reason for that. Friday the 13th the series wasn't supposed to be called Friday the 13th the series. Friday the 13th the series was developed under the name The 13th Hour and was originally planned to be titled that. However, show producer Frank Mancuso Jr., who also produced the Friday the 13th films, saw an opportunity to draw fan and network interest by inferring a connection between the two properties. Interestingly enough, Jason's trademark hockey mask was considered as a potential cursed antique, which could have justified the shared title. Unfortunately, that idea was later discarded, effectively rendering Friday the 13th the series' moniker as nothing more than a blatant cash grab. Still, the series proved fairly successful when viewed on its own merits, producing 72 episodes before its abrupt 1990 cancellation. Amusingly, John D. LeMay would go on to finally meet Jason in person when he starred in 1993's Jason Goes to Hell. So that wraps this one up. I want to hear from you. Post your thoughts on this video. That's it for this episode. Make sure you like this video, make sure you share this video, make sure you subscribe, but most of all, make sure you keep it hard.